Somebody's gonna give me a voice, I guess. You know, just okay. So what we're going to do is it's a tapioca. It's a tapioca pudding on the savory side. Okay. It's a staple. There you go. Okay. So I guess they're giving me more voice right there. Can you hear me? Yeah. People still. Sorry about that. So I keep going until we have the voice. So, all right. Okay. So basically, tapioca is the root of the manioc, you know. So everybody knows that it's used a lot in Asian cooking, and the way we're doing it is a little bit different, you know, that like a regular tapioca pudding. So we're having some boiling water right here, and we're going to cook some of that tapioca until it's translucent, you know. So it's really simple, but you got to keep on stirring it, okay? The measurement, if anybody wants to have a copy of that recipe, we'll be happy to provide it for you. So basically, when you cook it for about 10-12 minutes, and it's going to end up to be like that, okay? When it's cooked, you just drain it, and what happened here, we soak it for about 24 hours in cold water in the refrigerator, which is very unusual. You know, usually you can directly cook it and use it, especially in a sweet application. Okay, so when it's drained like that and it's soaked, it blooms for about 24 hours, and the bubbles, the pearls becoming you know, a lot more translucent and soft and less starchy. Okay. So now what we're going to do is actually cook that tapioca and giving all the flavors that it's in that container right here. Okay, to do that, we just, the actual tapioca here is with wild mushrooms, okay? So we decided what we do at Bistro RQ is just we use porcinis, Nameco mushrooms, and black chanterelles. Okay, the Nameco do add some slimy feeling. You know, it's not. A lot of people don't like it, but you'll see when you test it, it will just really give you a nice little additional texture in there. So we're going to actually put a little bit of olive oil here. You know, with one hand, it's just more difficult, and we did chop some of those mushrooms right here, okay, and then we're going to saute those in here, and we're going to add salt and pepper, shallots, and that's it actually, you know. So and what you do, you let it, you know, come up to a nice little color like that. It gives you a nutty flavor on all the mushrooms, and then what we do, after that, we will incorporate the salt, the pepper, but don't make, if you do, by the way, if you use olive oil, that will become like a vegan kind of a dish, okay, because it's no butter, all right? So that's one thing for our friend vegetarian here. Then we do let it get a little color, and we're going to add the vegetable stock right here into it, okay? And again, we do it every day, so sorry about the measurements, but we'll be happy to provide a recipe for you if you're interested, okay? And at this point, you actually put your tapioca and just cook it, okay, in here, all right? And then that cooks about, slowly, you got to stir it quite frequently because it will, you know, attach at the bottom of the pan. You know, and then you don't get a tapioca pudding anymore, you get something that's a real mess, okay? So, so keep on stirring it, and you cook it about for 15 to 20 minutes. The same thing, those little pearls will become really, really translucent, you know, like they are right now, okay? Then the next step, if you want to keep the dish vegan, you can use soy milk after the tapioca cool off, okay? So, or cream, we use a little bit of cream on those, okay? These are not vegan, okay? So, all right. So you cook it, and then you just dispose it, and you let it rest about a few hours until it cools off completely, okay? And then when it's cool, you do fold in some cream, you know, to get it consistent, because when it's going to be cold, it's going to be like a little block, you know, it's going to be very starchy. Okay, so you're incorporating a little bit of cream in it very slowly. Okay, salt and pepper, and what we do add in there is fresh herbs, you know, tarragon, chervil, and chives. You know, or you can add everything you want. Okay, but tarragon will help to bring the taste of the mushrooms out of there. Okay. Then the next step is what you product after you add the cream will come out like that, and you in the fridge because it's all done, you know. So you'll get something like this one here. Okay. In here you got the cream, the tapioca that have been cooked here, salt and pepper, fresh herbs. Okay. And then what we do is we pipe those into those little glasses, and that would be your first component of a dish. Okay. By the way, we do use that dish at Barbecue with a squash salad. Okay, so we're mixing those elements on the plate differently. Okay, but for tonight we just gave you the actual flavors concentrated in one little dish. Okay, so Daniel, you don't mind? Maybe you can start biting a little bit more like that. People can start tasting. On the top, okay, we use those very unusual. They're not unusual. They're not used so much. These come from the east of France, and one of the only region you're going to find those plums, okay? And they're small trees, and they grow between from July to September. And the way we actually pick them is we shake the trees with nets underneath, you know, because there's so many on the tree that you couldn't go on the ladder and just pick them up. So we call them mirabelle, and they often used in tarts, you know, and brandy. Mirabelle brandy, it's really good. You can drink the whole bottle the next day and make sure you have aspirin handy. But this is really good, okay? So what we did on these is we poached them in the very light